Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to week 7 of the NA Challengers Cup. I'm Verbalocity here with Mr. M Target himself. Mr. Target, how you doing today?
I am doing fine on this wonderful morning where it matters. We have Team Resist and Free K-Spot up on your first match of today's second week of the round, round robin.
Hello.
And
We're seeing some quick bans coming out of the game with Team
indeed
Resist versus
we
K-Spot. It looks
are.
like a Wheelish. Hello.
I mean, Wheelish makes some sense. Strong jungler, and especially if you want to pick some gods with leaps, etc. She's a good counter ban. Again, first banning I find interesting, particularly when you first pick Geb. There's a lot of other very strong characters um, who, quite frankly, I would have picked before Geb. Geb has fallen down quite far down the totem pole, as he's a reactive support, not a proactive support. And so that means that Geb's great at peel. He's great at peeling, but outside of his ultimate, he doesn't really have a whole lot of engage. The Shockwave, even, is more of a knock-up for let everybody get out of there than a knock-up we're trying to engage. So again, it's the little things. Thor and Zhonghui we've seen get very, very popular very fast. So,
Could you say his popularity's got a bit bloated?
no. No.
Get...
So,
Sorry,
we
I'll give
will...
it the ghost on those jokes. But yes, Zhonghui. I wanted to actually talk
That
about
one
that
was
for a
worse,
second.
quite frankly.
But yes, I like the fact that we're seeing Zhonghui more because it allows the team fights to last a bit longer, because usually in the solo you're used to, we have seen Zhonghui mids, but you usually see them solo because, he's more tanky and he's more sustain. The fights will last long because the warrior meta right now is Bluestone, 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 yo dog, have you heard about Bluestone? So their abilities do so much damage early on, fights end up ending very quickly. But
Well,
with Zhonghui, it extends a little bit longer, which is always fun to see.
Well, see, that may be the case in Europe, but in North America, Zhonghui is a much more popular mid laner because he can survive those early skirmishes in the mid lane with the jungler and the mid laner. Very quickly, though, we do see Neith and Giannis locked in for Team Resist. Interesting composition so far. Neith still a bit of a flex pick. Could go solo, can go duo. Giannis, very, very strong mid laner right now. Kind of surprised we didn't see him go first, but again, not bad going in the first round at least, and then Ares picked up. So what I'm seeing from Free K-Spot is that they want to fight in the duo lane, and then we see Free K-Spot banning out Serket as well. Interesting, in my opinion. Sure, Serket counters the healing of, say, Zhonghui, but at the same time, Thor is arguably a hard counter to her due to his early game pressure compared to her weak early game clear.
Maybe they just don't want to deal with the general shenanigans Saket can bring out with the poison and of course, the massive crits off the Death Bane that can and often do happen. And we're going to be seeing Team Resist opting in their third ban to get rid of Medusa. Medusa, I would say she's been on the rise, but she's leveled out a little bit. You see, though, we haven't seen as much, say, Rom or Apollo. Medusa has been there a lot more. I would almost say Medusa has been kind of the poster child carry right now of the full split for challengers. Although, not the full split, the full Challenger Cup. Purely because of, oh hey, I'm a hunter with a lot of poke, I can build various ways because of Bluestone or Deathstoll, and I have a very, very good CC, argue one of the best ultimates for hunters right now.
I can again understand the thought process there. Shibalanke, however, will get picked up for Free K-Spot. That Hou ban saying they want to go late game, but don't want to play Hou. Hou very, very strong, probably the strongest late game hunter right now. Shibalanke still decently strong. And however, something to note very quickly: Team Resist. This is a name change of Team Spitfire. Again, Ballantyne, back before Team Resist broke up, Ballantyne was on Team Resist, and as he was the only player of Team Resist to continue playing, he decided to sort of pick up their old branding, so to say. I don't think that Team Resist actually had any sponsorship organizational ties, but the team, I guess, decided that they would like to compete under an older name. So Team Resist is that team that will continue to live on forever, just simply, again, under a different name. Team Resist locking in Hun, Bots, and Bologna. So that'll be a Bologna solo, probably up against Guan Yu, and then Hun, Bots in the jungle going up against Thor. And then, as I said, Free K-Spot locking in Guan for their last pick.
I like seeing Guan. I mean, if I remember correctly, last week NA that I casted, the Ho Yi we saw all the time, I want to see... Okay, I'm going to put imaginary Monopoly money down on this. We're going to see Guan Yu majority of the games today. Because Guan Yu's been underexplored, in my opinion. He kind of went massive in the Warrior meta of eons ago, then he kind of fell off. He's like a very niche pick right now. But you can still do a lot of things, especially because of the buff he received to his passive, to where him doing damage to gods with his abilities charges up the heal. And of course, that heal has so many properties on it. It's got, you know, the heal, the protections, and also the cooldown shred, which is huge for people like Ares, for instance, who you can shred down the cooldown of his chains, and especially his ultimate. I want to see more Guan Yu play. It's fun to see. Also, the Tallow Assault just looks so good. That's like one minor side note, but it is one of the more powerful abilities, although I still can't get my head around how it interacts with Bluestone. Do you know exactly how that works? Because I'm still trying to wrap my head. Yeah, because I always thought it was all the picks. Ah, okay.
No,
so
it's just the first tick. It's just the first tick, not all of them. There's no reapplication or anything like that. The way that Tallow Assault works, at least. And I will take your Monopoly money. Going back to the beginning of that, I will gladly take all of your funny British money on the Guan Yu pick. I think Guan Yu is exactly that, a niche pick. I do not think that Guan Yu will do well today in certain matchups. I think that he will do decently against Bologna here, but overall for the rest of today, I do not think that we will see Guan Yu picked in 4 or more games. So,
alright.
I'm taking you on your bet. That's all. So, with that said, you all can chat amongst yourselves in terms of if you think that Guan Yu will or will not be picked for the rest of the games. However, he is in this game as Team Resist versus Free K-Spot. We are going to wait for the spectator client to finish counting down. This is game number 1 of today's round robin, week number 2 of the round robin stage, week number 7 overall of Smite's North American Challenger Cup, brought to you by hi-rez Studios and excuse me, puremonster.com. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. We are into the action with all of Resist Gaming walking down the mid lane. Looking like the Mollusk wants to place a deep ward and wants to have teammates in the area, but he may run into Kopabi here. Nope, he will not. Oh, there we go, they do see each other, but they are just simply going to pass in the night. And that should be a relatively safe start to the game. Once again, Resist Gaming up against Free K-Spot. Resist Gaming going to be your blue team, bottom side of your minimap, left-hand side of your spectator UI. We have Turnip and Left Syndrome making up your duo lane, Neath and Geb combination, Deadly Midget in the mid as Giannis, the Mollusk as the Monkey in the jungle, on Hun, Bots, and Valentine in the solo lane as Bologna.
So, going into this early, we see the triple wards coming on by Resist. They want absolutely zero shenanigans coming out by K-Spot. Understandable, considering looking at least I would say 3, if not 4, of their gods are very good early one invade. You know, Guan Yu, Zhongqi, Thor, arguably Xbalanque with the poison, but that's up for debate.
I would say
they don't want to see anything
I would
crazy.
Completely disagree with that and say Thor, Guan, and Ares totally. Xbalanque definitely not, and Zhongqi needs at least level 2 before he can really start to do a whole lot. Sure, he's got a slow, but that's about it. Anyways, as you said, full pen on Xbalanque. El Brochacho will be playing your support Ares. El Brochacho, definitely known for his Ares gameplay. Mindy rocks for 20 on her Zhongqi. Kopabi on the Thor
solo
jungle.
lane. Valentine taking a lot of poke from motion. That one Tallow Assault into Warrior's War combination, knocking him down into range where he needs to pop health pots and almost pop to multi-pot immediately. That kind of poke is not going to be healthy.
Yeah,
mid lane.
Motion. Oh, actually, Mollusk is going to kill Kopabi in the mid lane, as we do see that go down. But as you were saying, yeah, early game, Guan Yu versus Bologna. Again, one of the few matchups where Guan Yu's Tallow Assault does tons of poke from the very beginning. But his clear, once Bellona gets her bludgeon up and running, is difficult. Though, back to the mid lane, we do see an invade coming up from the Mollusk and Deadly Midget as they do steal away Mindy's back. Camps Mindy will fire just a couple shots, but not going to be able to do too much. However, duo lane, we are going to see El Brochacho caught out. He is in trouble, and he is going to fall. The question is to whom? Actually, oh, Turnip will finish him off right there, but Mollusk is out of mana, so he will not be able to engage any further. Turnip as well, down to about a quarter health. So we will see the Mollusk back, but this is a very quick 2-0 for the boys in blue.
So yeah, Turnip getting a kill, that's very nice. And then we also saw that Mollusk got a kill. Those are the two people that you really want some nice early gold on, especially considering that Mollusk went for that red pot. So that value has been pretty much justified right there, getting the first blood. And for now, he's going to be able to start playing a little bit more offensively if he wants. He's getting decent. You know, he's just hit level 4. And he's going to be able to, once he hits level 5, really start dishing out the pain, because depending on how Lady Luck favors him, that passive where he gets the crits after an ability cast is really going to start bringing the pain.
Well, again, it will, but it's going to take a little bit of time. Of course, the bigger thing there is, as most junglers do, we did see Kopobi also losing his red pot, because you're running that red potion of physical, or that potion of physical might, excuse me, because it helps out so much with the clear right now. So junglers are deeming it almost a necessity, a requirement on most characters as well. So again, that one more thing, not only does it put that first blood gold in the Mollusk's pocket, as well as then an assist, but also taking down Kopobi off of that 450 is pretty drastic.
Yeah, the red pot. It's probably a frog. That red pot emphasis kind of reminds me of back in Season 1, if you remember. This was like, I think it was just after Warrior meta. That red pot emphasis on jungles was huge. This was back when Hog was mandatory on at least 3 roles. And that kind of red pot risk, it definitely led to some good damage, but it also led to some very swingy jungle shenanigans. But looks like possible mid-camp shenanigans going on the left side. Kopobi and Mindy Rocks are in place, but the rest of Resist are actually grouping up around this left side purple. They could get sandwiched. Thor is going to be going up into the air. Darkest Night will be deployed. Turnip forced to stop. Out comes the Recall Demons, or Missiles in this case with that skin. He is going to find us onto Deadly Midget. Kopobi going to turn around. Mindy Rocks will find a kill onto Turnip. Mollusk gets the Avenged kill onto El Brochacho in response. That's the Ares down. Full penetration, meanwhile, taking a good bit of poke to see if he can get out of here with his life. Deadly Midget picks up Mindy Rocks. That's going to be a 2-for-1 trade in favor of Resist Gaming. Resist with an extremely strong start pre-5 minutes here. Indeed, and they will be stealing away. They stole away that purple buff, and they'll be stealing away this red buff as well. So they are doing very, very well. Though, team composition does do very strongly from level 6 to level 12. Free K-Spot has a little bit more late game power. If you look at Zhonghui, you know, sustain, just cruises, late game, really hard to kill. And then Xbalanque, once he can get his stacks up, again, he's probably top 3 for late game hunters, especially for boxing. So we will just have to wait and see. I apologize as my phone goes off. Even if the microphone can't hear it, I'm going to mute it right now. But as I was saying, late game, free K-Spot, certainly not out of it yet. Sure, we're 5 minutes in. Take a look at the graphs. They're down by 2k experience, 1.8k gold. But at the end of the day, that's you know, it's a couple towers, that's a gold fury, that's just good farm. They're only behind by 3 kills. The level disparity is in the supports, which it's Ares, he needs his levels, but it's not horrible. It definitely is gonna hamstring, because in an ideal world, of course, you know, on paper, you want the Ares to get, like, an early kill, maybe a first blood, and then just start wrecking face with, oh, my CC is death, essentially. But unfortunately, because he was set back early, he is not going to be able to do that, and it looks like over in the mid, little bit of RG, but nothing really too dramatic. Turnip loves charging up these Wall Weavers all of the time, I'm noticing. He charged one up on full penetration when he was backing. Yep. He charged one up for that fight. He is keeping his global presence at the ready at a moment's
Well,
notice.
that's the thing with Neath is that it's
Duo lane gank, goodbye Mollusk, potentially though. Finno Evil is going to be the point. There goes the through space and time as well. Obrachacho is going to be the first to fall in this fight. Nice portal there by Midget. He's going to drop penetration through. There's the cannonball coming out of the World Weaver. Mollusk though taking a decent bit of poke from the tower, but in comes the cavalry from K-Spot. Let's see if they can find something. Couplefeet and Mindy Rock's going to look for targets here. Turnip is going to be in their sights, although Mollusk is fairly low as well. He's going to have to be careful he doesn't get squashed by an incoming Thorol. Who's going to go for? He's going to field goal it and doesn't get it. That's unfortunate. That's going to be a mutual kill. And now, unfortunately for Mindy Rocks, he didn't have the cards and it means he isn't going to heal. And he's just going to smash his head into the floor. That's going to be another 2-for-1 trade in favor of Resist Gaming. They are having a lot of success in these duo lane fights here, Target.
Indeed they are. So far. And that's the problem that, well, 3K Spot is having is Resist Gaming. They're initiating the fight, and then on top of that, they have that semi-global rotation of the Giannis ultimate. So Giannis is there. You've got Kofabi and Mindy, and Kofabi's like, okay, I'm Thor, I can ult if I need to. Of course, he was ulting late. But Mindy, she's playing she's not playing Guan Yu, that would be Motion. She's playing Zhang Kui, and Zhang Kui waddles. Yes, he's got boots done, but Zhang Kui has one of the lowest base move speeds in the game. And again, he doesn't have a global ultimate, so he can't just go, I'm riding rails across the map. So, because of that, they're coming into the fight late and not quite able to pick up the kills, which is unfortunate. So, it happens. Again, I think that Free K-Spot can come back from this. They just need to stop playing Resist's game. You know, they need to tell Full Penetration and Brochacho, look, if you guys are going to keep getting aggressive and losing your trades, that's on you.
Looks like
you're gonna die.
On the mid lane, there might be more trades potentially happening. Obrachacho charges the ult, but he gets hit by the through time in space, and Turnip gets stopped before the no escape could fire and drag them into the middle. In comes Left Syndrome. He's going to look for a kill potentially. The Shockwave will do enough damage. He was close enough to get the full brunt of it. Mindy Rocks will fall again. And now, Resist Gaming, they are... I don't want to use this word, because I hate using this word, but the snowball effect is starting to slowly get into play. You can feel the pace and the momentum start going. Look at their positioning right now. They're going constantly for these aggressive camp steals. And
why not? There's no reason not to. And again, the bigger thing is that they are a team that's got a slightly stronger early game. Because of it, their weak game is their weak game is a little bit later. Their late game is a little bit weaker. But overall, this is what you have to do if you're Resist Gaming, is you need to be aggressive, you need to do everything that you can. You know, Guan Yu relies on his blue buff. Valentine going to go and either try and steal it, or in this case, fight him for it. They're both level 11, so they're fairly even right now. So Motion has not lost his lane, mainly because it's just been him and Valentine, and so Valentine, again, not a whole lot of kill potential as Bologna right now, and we will be seeing Kopabi rotate over with Mindy, but again, they're both only level 9. They're not even to double digits just yet, so it's going to be difficult, but we will see them rotate over to help out Motion with clearing this buff, but Valentine going to come in, drop the Scourge a little bit too soon. That would have been very unfortunate if he had stolen it. But back to the mid lane, we are going to see some poke. Briefly looking at itemization here, we are going to see penetration boots on El Brochacho. Again, Ares does this a little bit, especially when he's trying to get kills, but when you're behind, it just makes things worse, because it kills the CDR, and yes, I do see the rotation over in the solo lane, the Mollusk looking for aggression wherever he can, but I don't think he's going to find anything just yet.
Yeah. And once again, Turnip immediately firing the ult. The only thing you want to be careful of, though, with... it looks like... I'll talk about the second mid lane here. Finno Evil is going to be deployed. Multiple ultimates going off. No escape is going to be used, but no one is going to get pulled. Mollusk under tower, unfortunately. And he's going to go down to the chain ticks. And now Coppleby, he may try and look for a double tap, but unfortunately, he doesn't really have the mana or cooldowns to guarantee it safely. Valentine and Motion will rotate over as well, but Duo Lane has rotated over as well. This is going to be a fight on two sides of the mid lane jungle, although it's less fighting, more skirmishing at this point, as Free K-Spot have decided to back off and pick up camps because they really can't afford to fight right now, Target.
It's not a matter they can't afford to fight, they just took the... Outside of the singular kill upon Resist Gaming's jungler who did respawn, they took more poke, now they healed up, and now taking the Gold Fury fight, This is going to be huge for them. You're going to see In Motion go on to the Horus Cavalry charge right through, but he's not going to hit anything as Love Syndrome does just ride away in his rollout, and he'll be good to go. Very low, but does manage to disengage so far. We do see up in the air is Kobe. He is going to miss once again. He is going to finish off Love Syndrome with the double tap, though. El Borchacho going to kill Turnip on the other side. Top side, we do see Ballantyne in a lot of trouble. 1 versus 3. He used the Eagle's Rally earlier, so now he just has to stand and fight. And the Goddess of War is going to fall to 4, and the God of Thunder will kill her. Kobe going to get his revenge. That is a soft deicide, as, well, the Mollusk died and then respawned. Or actually, no, Deadly Midget did not die there. My apologies. Mollusk will come in here, but he does not have his ultimate, but he can still provide plenty of poke. Looking for Frillpin. Actually, back the other side. Beautiful job trying to disengage, but Mindy has enough damage to try and save. Nope, Kobe should be alright. There's the Fair No Evil. Now Mindy's dead. She does fall to the Mollusk, and now the Mollusk is going to try and get more onto Motion. Deadly Midget looking forward as well. There's the crit from the Monkey, and he is just flying around, dropping overhand smashes left and right, as Motion does try and provide some peel for his support and jungler. Interesting, I would have preferred to have had Brochacho provide the peel, as now the Gold Fury is being started once again by Resist Gaming.
And they've got a decent chance of getting this, although Penetration has returned. He could try and do some shenanigans here. And at this rate, Left Syndrome will pop the Cataclysm, and that's going to all but guarantee it. Although Penetration is going to find a kill onto Mollusk. He may pay with his life here if he's not careful. Has to use the beast to go around the portal. Nice wall by Copperbeat. That's another really nice jungle wall, splitting up Resist Gaming from the fight. And now the re-engagement has begun by K-Spot. They want blood and revenge for that Gold Fury fight. And Steel. Down comes Copperbeat. And El Borchacho fires no escape, but there's the Roman Victor. CC immediately during the jump is going to allow Ballantyne to just walk away from that, relatively unscathed. Borchacho, he's not exactly having the best of it right now. Most of his opportunities have been stuffed, either through beads or just from being underleveled. It does suck as an Ares support when that happens.
The underleveling is definitely a problem, but at the same time, he's playing Ares, quote, correctly here, which is Ares after level 7, I would say. The purpose of his ultimate is not to get pulls. If you get a pull, that's great. The purpose of his ultimate is to force beads, because you've got everybody else who's got other abilities that people are going to have to beads from, and Kobe is in trouble for members here, plus the Neath ultimate, that World Weaver doing some damage. Kobe did beads it out, and he will be able to disengage.
Nice
Albertacho will finish off the Mollusk, though a little bit too aggressive there coming out from the Monkey, and we will just see a rotation back into the mid lane. However, brief note, even though Resist Gaming has the lead in experience, gold, and kills, they did lose the first tower of the game. So as far as objectives are concerned, Resist Gaming hold the only Gold Fury, and Free K-Spot hold the only tower kill.
Yes. But at this point, can they capitalize on that, though? Because they have the tower, which means they have positional advantage if they want. If they want to try and shove that lane up and try and time it with any other kind of shenanigans, maybe they want to go and grab a lot of buffs, maybe they want to get some key ward positioning. They could try and do that, but at the same time, it's going to be hard to maybe try and go for fights, because the golden level advantage, it's lower than it was before, but it is still there. And Resist Gaming, especially with the comp that they have around this point, this is when they hit their peak. In terms of, well, I wouldn't say peak necessarily, but for instance, you know, Mollusk with the overhand smash, he's been doing a lot of damage. That's going to start falling off as people start picking up the defenses like their sovereignties, the mystical males on Free K-Spot. He's not going to be able to do that free crit damage that we've been seeing through these early fights, Target.
What do you think? The Deathbringer on the Deathbringer is going to be huge for Hun bots, maybe even a Malice, though I think Deathbringer is definitely still very strong on Hun bots. We are going to see him actually getting aggressive here. Tons of damage. There's the Fear No Evil trying to provide some peel for himself, and now we're seeing Resist Gaming is playing Free K-Spot's game, and as much as I understand that it's a cliche that I say it over and over and over again, the purpose of Smite right now is 100% the game is dictated by who is dictating the pace and who is responding. If you are saying, okay, we're doing this now, and you're doing that, if it's an even playing field, if the teams are within, you know, range of each other in terms of skill, it doesn't matter if Resist Gaming or Free K-Spot is the better team slightly, because whichever team is the one that's dictating what the map is, what is happening on the map, excuse me, that is going to dictate who wins, because the response game right now in Smite is not strong enough compared to the, okay, we're doing this now, we don't care what you have to say about it. And so that's why we're seeing Resist Gaming start to fall behind a little bit again, is they're staggering because they're not the ones saying, okay, you're doing this now, because Free K-Spot has said, no, we're okay. You know, our Xbalanque got a kill, he's 1-0-3, our Hunter's fine, our solo laner 0-0-3, he's also fine. You know, sure, our support and our mid laner both have 4 deaths, but we're doing okay. And so now that they are recognizing, okay, we've been able to stop the bleeding, and we're just going to start playing our game, they're doing alright. Now, Resist Gaming's made some mistakes as well. Primarily, look at the mid lane. Sure. He 1-0-7, but hasn't gone into power until now. He went cooldown boots into Chronos Pendant. Great. I love all the CDR, but I don't like that order because he's got no power behind his abilities.
Over the solo lane, though, Valentine is taking a decent bit of chunking there by Oberchacha, who was caught under tower trying to do some, to actually finish off that tier 1 solo, but the rest of Free K-Spot rotated over before the final blows could be done. So he's going to be forced to back off there. We did see him almost actually die to the chains, but luckily a nice cheeky shield from Left Syndrome gave him enough protection to actually get out of that alive, and now Free K-Spot are going to be the ones pushing. And to reiterate on the point that you said, Target, about the proactive nature, take a look at some of the warding right now. Both Free K-Spot and Resist Gaming have a lot of sentry wards around the map. That's more in the favor of K-Spot saying, hey, okay, we've stopped the bleeding, we have a good indication on where you are and where you're not. Both of those things being very good information to have. It's not just a case of, oh, we can see you, it's, oh, we don't see you here, 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 and using common sense and game knowledge that we've accrued, we know you're going to be around here at this point.
Well, not just that, but they're sentry wards, so they know they know what direction they can rotate through. That said, Resist on the Gold Fury side sitting on 1, 2, 3. However, there are there's one deep sentry ward and one safe sentry ward by K-Spot as well. Brief look at that ward's placed number 5. We see 7 actually by Deadly Midget, followed by 6 on, or now 7 as well from Left Syndrome. So lots of warding from everybody involved, except for Valentine. Come on, Valentine, just sitting on 1. You can do better. You can do better.
Well, Solo Lane could slightly get away with it to an extent, considering, especially Bologna, she's pretty hard to gank. We saw she was in the middle of the enemy team's tower and managed to get away. I mean, admittedly, thanks to the support, but still, Bologna has a lot of tools in her arsenal to get away safely, especially once you start getting 1 or 2 items online, like the Runeforged Hammer, and most likely going to be the Heavy Hammer coming out as well. And I want to see how the warding game influences the fights around the Gulf Fury and Fire Giant site areas than that specifically, those middle areas, because both of these teams are playing the vision game pretty hard, but looks like Coupleby getting very aggressive, but looks like the rest of his team isn't to back him up. That's a bit of miscommunication. There's the ultimate, and he's going to get run over by a giant spaceship. That's going to be the first kill of this fight. Fear No Evil will be deployed over by the Gulf Fury, but Mollusk takes a huge hammering, but luckily the Syndrome able to shield him out. Chacho as well, very low turnip, gets the kill with the backflip. That's a gymnast achievement for you, good sir. And Deadly Midget picking up the kill to Mini Rocks with the combined fire of Resist Gaming. Full penetration now forced to retreat, but gets dropped through a portal. He no longer has any ankles, and he's going to get slowed down by transitions. That was nerfed, but it's still, it's a pretty damn good slow.
Threshold's still a good slow. It's not as strong as it once was. Looking at Deadly Midget briefly, Threshold, he's leveled it to max, so that slow is still 25%. Excuse me, it does not actually scale. It scales on the it was the positive side for movement speed, but the slow is always 25%. And we are going to see the mid lane tower going. This will be the second tower taken by Resist Gaming. They may look to pressure the mid lane tier 2 as well. No, they will not. They will disengage a bit and see some rolling out from Left Syndrome as he and the Mollusk will steal away the red buff from Coupleby and Mindy. Oh, they're even leaving them small minions. That's just cruel.
Mollusk has been ruthless in his counter-jungling right now. I think every time I've looked towards this side of the jungle, it's just been Mollusk monkeying around in the red buff. It's been ridiculous.
No, Free K-Spot's gotten a couple of their red buffs. They just, in that case specifically, were unable to get to it in time. So, unfortunate for them. Mid lane, we will see some aggression coming out from Motion on to Deadly Midget, but Deadly Midget will survive for now.
Now, I want to actually talk about something with UK Target for a second. Although, actually, looks like some ominous movement coming out from Resist Gaming. They might be looking for a 4-man rotation onto Motion, or at least try and stuff some of this tower pushing attempt. I want to talk about the build here, because we're seeing, you know, this essentially mirrored builds, apart from, of course, the star rating differences coming out by the Hunters here. Do you think that's going the same build, considering it's going to be... Of course, Xbalanque is going to be doing better late game because of the passive and the way his abilities work. Actually, we'll talk about that in a second. Looks like a fight has begun over by the Fire Giant side blue buff. Multiple ultimates being deployed here, and El Brochacho will most likely be the first to fall here. No, it won't. Mollusk actually gets taken out. Brochacho manages to get away, but gets taken down by Valentine. Motion getting the first blood of this fight. And Deadly Midget, unfortunately, isn't able to find a kill with the extra scaling off transitions. Motion was able to heal himself up just in time. The rest of Resist Gaming has rotated over. Turnip is there as well. Looks like Penetration has opted to not rotate and instead just go for the split push. Try and get something else from this moment, because they know this fight isn't going to go too well. This tower is going to fall, and Motion and Mini Rocks are only going to be forced to retreat. Mini Rocks get taken out. The portal by Deadly Midget tries to get the kill. He almost has it, but the jukes by Motion is not going to be enough when a giant spaceship comes spamming into you.
Indeed, Left Syndrome will manage to get the kill there. However, we are going to see 4 kills for none, and then 2 towers for 2 towers, and we may see the Phoenix here as well. El Brochacho going to try and defend it. Left Syndrome really just here to provide some shielding, as he is sitting at about 500 health. We are going to see El Brochacho blink in and provide some serious aggression there. Deadly Midget getting taken very, very low. Valentine tanking up that Phoenix a little bit too much. They will back off. We did actually see the Mollusk go over to defend the left lane for them. We did see Thor go up as well. Kopa coming down, does not quite find them, but he will get his own speed speed buff. Excuse me. Going to need to get some water after this match, I think. But
Rocks OP, please, Neff.
18-9 in favor of Resist Gaming. And 23 minutes in, again, in terms of itemization...
Fire Giants! Hello! This is an interesting call.
This is a call from K-Spot saying, look, we know that they all went back, and we know that we need to get back into this game now, so we are going to try and take it. We are going to see Valentine going in with that Eagles Rally, trying to get something. He actually may have successfully canceled out this fight. Bottom side, actually, top side, Valentine does finish up pole transition. Bottom side, though, Motion is fighting on 2. Maul's taking down Brochacho top side, but Motion is trying, and Turnip will disengage. Going back to the top side of this fight, we do see Resist Gaming continuing to go very aggressive, now backing off slightly, as they say, alright, we just defended the Fire Giant, went 2 for none, and now they're trying to find Motion, but again, a very good wall coming out from Kopabi, but there's the through space and time coming out from Deadly Midget, as Deadly Midget does not want to stop fighting just yet, looking for Motion, but Motion is sitting on that Emerald Talisman that makes him very tanky against mages, and then in general, he's sitting on quite a large pool of health, 2,600. I believe he's actually only behind Left Syndrome in the health department. He's tankier than his own, he is actually tankier than Geb by 12 health.
That's...
So, the tankiest person on the map right now is actually Motion, the solo laner for free case. Again, due to leveling, due to itemization, etc. But the man still has quite a large amount of health.
It also does help that, on top of all of that, he's going to be able to get himself more protections off of the Tallow Assault plus a heal, which is going to make him a pain in the ass to fight. And in all of these engagements, we're seeing multiple AoE ultimates come out. He's going to be able to pop the horse in response to any kind of Gev ultimate or the Honbats ultimates, the ones that will actually physically stop your plates, and just start riding out slapping people with the Green Crescent Blade with the scaling damage that you gain off of it. And that's going to be especially worrying considering that they also have a Jean-Qui on their team who has that also big AoE damage. Just in general, there's a lot of AoEs in this fight that do not exactly huge damage. They're not Krakens or anything, but they're a lot.
Speaking of
over
huge
time.
damage, you did just see that Gold Fury go down, right?
Yeah, that was so cool. I don't want to mention it because it was so quick, but looks like I want to mention this fight that's happening on the right side. Mindy Rock's forced upon the Recall Demons. El Brochacho is stuck in the middle of 3 minutes of risk gaining. Mollusk forced to run away. We do see a portal was popped, but unfortunately Mollusk dies before he can reach the beginning of it. Turnip trying to retreat goes through the portal. El Brochacho doesn't find anyone, unfortunately. He's going to fist bump in the air. Full penetration, gets a double kill onto Turnip. Now, the motion is going to get dropped through a portal. Valentine gets hit with the chains, although forces the beads, used the beads to actually dash away. Cobblebee looking for the kill. Nice stun! There was the change. There was the change in the patch, which made it so if you're CC'd by a stun, root, or cripple, you can't go through a portal.
You couldn't do that before. You couldn't do that before, so that's...
Really?
I don't understand.
Oh.
Yeah, so again, I don't understand what...
Ah. Okay, today I learn. But yes, looks like right side tower is going to fall, and left Syndrome is going to take the IO 3k spot, but he has to shield to protect himself relatively well. Tower also going to be channeled, reducing his protection. Valentine getting relatively low. He can't really regenerate too much unless without the Scourge, and that's going to be too dangerous to use right now. So he's going to be able to play it safe and retreat. Left Syndrome is going to be going left, ironically, around the blue. They're going to look for a flank, potentially. He doesn't have ultimate up just yet. Actually, no, he has it right now. It just came up. So if the rest of Resist want to go for something, there it is, the 3-man Cataclysm into the Unstable Vortex. In comes the Neat Ultimate from the back of the map, and Mini Rocks is not going to go down just yet, but Rachacho will.
Indeed, and we're going to see Mindy going into, or popping up that Recall Demons, as you said. Full penetration, gonna kill the Malos. Death Mindy gonna finish off Mindy. However, full penetration will take off 2. That's a triple kill now for the Xbalanque. That is huge for him. That is now a full passive, excuse me. Valentine coming in with that Eagles Rally looking for more. But they are on a full retreat motion saying, look, I don't want to deal with it. Just let us go. Let us leave. Kopi saying, leave me alone as well. And now we may see a bit of a fight. Nope, Turnip here as well. They definitely don't want to deal with this anymore. Gonna see a teleport. Motion still in some trouble. But again, there is only... Oh, no, actually, Motion will fall there to Turnip. But he's a level 19 Guan Yu. There's not much more for him to do at this point. He's able to finish off a Stone of Guy. He's got a Shield of the Underworld now. He is fairly good there. Overall, I'll take a brief look at the graphs. Gold difference still in favor of Free K-Spot by about 8, or excuse me, in favor of Resist Gaming by about 8,700. Experience, 14,000 experience, will begin mattering less. That is no longer a raw net experience lead, as there are 3 level 20s on the side of Resist Gaming and 1 level 20 on the side of Free K-Spot. So that graph will continue to trend, even though even as everyone hits 20, it doesn't start to level back out. So that is something to keep in mind. We will be seeing builds for the Hunters are identical right now. You know, each of them have everything completed except for the actual Deathbringer. So
yeah, that's what I wanted to bring up about the identical builds. The Deathbringer. Do you think we're going to be seeing that still as the go-to combination with Rage, or do you think Malice is going to start creeping in a little, considering that there was a slight nerf to the crit bonus on Deathbringer?
You'll see Malice creep in on other builds. You will not... Deathbringer and Rage is still far too strong. Malice actually works against a Rage rather works against a Malice, because it's not like the Malice stacks with every single Rage crit. So you'll see Malice Deathbringer maybe. You will see you'll see Malice on Hunbots. Sometimes you'll see Malice on Circuit. Again, maybe. The big thing is on Hunters you will still see crit Rage Deathbringer. Maybe Malice as your 3rd crit item if you decide to drop the Iqbal, though, quite frankly, especially on Neath. Eagles Rally combination on the right-hand side. Tons of damage. Upward Charger going to go into that nose cave. Is going to pull 2. And there's the horse right there for Motion. Motion looking for some damage going on to Damage. Damage going to Portal 2. There is the Fear No Evil as well. Damage going to finish off 1. Maulus going to finish off Motion as well. And they're continuing to his top side. Valentine going on to Brochacho. El Brochacho is going to fall there as well. He was just simply trying to buy time. Left-hand side of the fight. Kobabee is going... Actually, no, Kobabee made it out. Full penetration is the one that got shut down there by Turnip. Excuse me. Kobabee successfully managing to make it back into base, and he now needs to hope for the Anvil of Dawn of his life. He needs to steal away this Fire Giant, not for himself, but to keep it off of the bodies of Resist Gaming.
He needs to turn on his Spotify or his Pandora. I need a hero. Never mind. The hero
he couldn't even get there in time, so...
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but he, again, Fire Giant, not the end of the world. That said, there are only 2 towers remaining, and the waves are fairly pushed up. Resist Gaming feeling very strong right now. They are between 5 to 6 slots at this point, except for the support who's sitting at 4. So we are going to see them rotate over to the dual lane now, and Geb, such a strong late game support. That this is the biggest thing, is that if Free K-Spot had gone for another late game support, this game could have some turnaround potential there. But because El Brochacho is playing Ares, Ares has a very weak late game in my opinion, and because of that, it's going to be very difficult for them to come back at all. Resist Gaming blowing up that Gold Fury, which is interesting considering it was the 4th one, and by the 4th respawn, especially at 30 minutes in, that Gold Fury gets very difficult to kill. So
yeah, I wanted to actually talk about the Geb for a second, because you mentioned during Picks and Bans that Geb can be usually is a very sort of passive, reactive support. Lift Syndrome has turned that entire thing on its head. He has been very proactive and very aggressive on Geb today.
Yeah, he's been aggressive. He's been again, I think he's still been using a lot of that aggression for that same concept of peel purposes, from the standpoint of you go in, you provide a little bit of pressure, but you're still looking for an engage elsewhere. You know, the last fight where we saw a true engage out of La Syndrome, he was engaging at the same time that Valentine was with that Eagles Rally Cataclysm combination. So, again, it's there. I just think that there are other options out there for aggressive supports. And again, at late game, though, I don't think you'll find a better support than Geb because of his passive, because of his shield. Shockwave certainly is always going to be good, and yeah, it's just all around. It's a very, very strong combination of opportunities between his passive and everything else. We are going to see Darkness and Knights coming out there. Are they going to aggress here? Is the question. And going to see beautiful Fear No Evil onto 4 right there. Motion getting up, blown motion going to fall. Valentine with that kill. We are going to see no escape coming out from Brochacho, but Brochacho will die before that happens. Good dunk from Kobe, but it's a little bit too late. So we're going to finish off Mindy Rocks on the top side, and now Kobe doesn't survive at the top of that fight. And now full penetration is coming back, trying to find something, but it is too late. The birdie has fallen, and he will just simply push out this wave while he does rotate quickly over to the mid lane, but he may be too late as that bird falls as well, and he will just be rising Jaguar away. Though Valentine does get taken fairly low by Kobe. Kobe will die to La Syndrome once again.
Was there even a thought? He just
full
got
penetration.
Was there even the Shivalonke? Both of them just getting melted, and the Titan is going to get melted as Mesmerize yells about the Muffin Man. That is going to be going in the way of Resist Gaming with a fairly dominant performance there in Target. I wouldn't be wrong in saying that, would I? I mean,
there were a couple chances, but Resist Gaming took the early game lead on their early game team, and they made it late game and did very well with it. You know, especially that last fight. Taking a look at the builds very quickly, we saw them back, and they were all 5 to 6 slotted compared to everyone on Free K-Spot was 4 slotted, with the exception of Shibalonke, who was 5.5 slotted. And when I say 6 slotted, I mean everyone on Resist Gaming except for Giannis had tier 3 everything. So they were sitting really pretty. But then you look at oh, I don't like the Sunbot spell. Don't look at that. But again, they were ahead. They were solid, and they did very well. Well played. Congratulations to Resist on the win. Free K-Spot still doing all right. I do not have... Let me see if I can find the group results. Okay, points from week 1. Resist, we're sitting at 9 points. Points from week 1 for Free K-Spot. Free K-Spot, we're sitting at 6. So, Free K-Spot definitely going to need to win the rest of their games today to try and put themselves into the top 4. But with that said, I do know that we've got more matches to bring all of you. So, we will be back in a few minutes with Neil M versus Risky Behavior, I do believe.
Yes, I believe that's going to be the next match. Although, I'm not going to bet Monopoly money that I'm potentially wrong on that one, because, when it comes to fixtures, I've been notoriously wrong on the challenges. But, either way, we're going to go to the break. We're going to go get some water, especially you, M-Target. That frog of yours has actually settled a settee in your throat. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go anywhere.